My beloved child, my chosen one. The heavens whispered your name today so softly yet so powerfully that the angels had no choice but to rush this message into your hands. Congratulations, your miracle has already arrived. And Archangel Michael himself says he will not allow you to skip this at any cost. Please open this fully. Every single word carries the seed of the miracle you've been waiting for. Do you feel that trembling in your spirit right now? It's not fear. It's recognition. Your soul knows something has shifted in the unseen. And heaven is moving mountains for you this very moment. God has bent time, rearranged doors, and unlocked blessings with your name carved into them. This is why Michael is pleading, my child, don't look away, don't scroll past, don't treat this like just another message, because this is not just another, this is the one. Pause here. Yes, right here. And breathe, for in the breath you're taking now, light is flowing into your path, changing outcomes that looked impossible. And if your heart is whispering, is this really for me? Then no. You wouldn't even be reading this unless heaven had ordered your steps into this exact moment. Before I continue, I ask you with love, stay close, stay connected, subscribe to this divine channel of messages so that not a single word of what heaven is trying to pour into you is ever lost. These aren't just words. They are lifelines, keys, and open doors. My child, this is your confirmation. The thing that was delayed is no longer delayed. The thing that was denied is now being rewritten with divine approval. And the person you thought was gone forever. Heaven is already moving in ways you could not even imagine. Do not underestimate what happens when Michael speaks. He does not come casually. He comes as a sword, as a shield, as the one who guards what belongs to you. And he's telling you now, your blessing cannot be stolen. Your promise cannot be erased. Your miracle cannot be reversed, unless you walk away. But you won't walk away. I can feel your spirit leaning in. Hungry, open, ready, because you know something rare is unfolding. Even now, as you read line by line, light is cracking open in the places you thought were forever sealed. Chains you carried unknowingly are snapping. Generational wounds are being washed. And the miracle, it's no longer on the way. It is already here. Stay with me, my beloved. Because what's about to be revealed in the next lines is not only going to shock you, it will make you realize that your entire weight, your entire pain was for this moment right here. My beloved child, let me take you deeper. From the very first breath you drew on this earth, heaven had a plan for you. Something so radiant, so powerful that even the storms of life could not cancel it. And now, right here, in this very moment, Archangel Michael has come to declare that the waiting is over. Your miracle has not only been dispatched, it has landed. The shift has already happened in the unseen. That is why your spirit feels different. Why your heart is beating faster as you read this. It's because you know this is not an ordinary message. This is a divine appointment that was scheduled long before you even knew it was coming. Michael says, my child, you cannot skip this. For heaven has poured into these very words the keys to your breakthrough, even the distractions that try to pull you away right now, notice them or not, by accident. The enemy knows if you finish this message, chains will snap, doors will fling open, and what you thought was impossible will stand right in front of you. That is why he tried to keep you busy, restless, or doubtful, but you made it here. And because you did, heaven is opening something for you that will never close again. Do you understand how rare this moment is? Out of millions, you were chosen to hear this exact message today. God whispered your name in the council of heaven, and Archangel Michael answered the call to deliver it. When angels move like this, it means something irreversible has shifted in your destiny. And the miracle that has been circling you like a river just found its way to your doorstep. My beloved, I need you to hold on to every word because each one is carrying light. If you walk away too soon, you may miss the very line that holds your confirmation. But if you stay, if you let your spirit breathe in the full message, then you will feel the power coursing through you like fire. Heaven is not asking you to work harder, beg longer, or prove yourself anymore. This blessing is not earned. It is gifted. It is already yours. And the only thing you must do is receive it fully. You are not reading this by chance. Heaven is intentional. And Archangel Michael stands right now at your side, saying, "My child, rejoice. Your waiting season has ended, your miracle is alive. My beloved, let me speak to you in a stream of light, a flowing current of heaven's own voice. From the very moment you opened this message, something in the unseen shifted. The gates that were rusted shut have begun to creak open, and the sound is echoing into your life." Archangel Michael is standing with his sword drawn, not in battle against you, but in fierce protection of the miracle already hovering in your atmosphere. My child, your miracle has not only been sent, it is standing at your threshold. You may not see it fully yet, but your spirit knows it is near. And that is why your heart feels stirred. That is why you feel the need to keep reading, because the confirmation you have been craving, the proof that heaven has not forgotten you, is woven into every single word you are absorbing right now. Do not underestimate this. Many times you have prayed, cried, and wondered if heaven was listening. And the silence nearly broke you. But silence was never rejection. It was preparation. God was aligning threads that your human eyes could not see. The delay was not denial. It was construction. The miracle was being formed piece by piece, and Archangel Michael was guarding it with his presence so that no thief in the spirit could snatch it away. And now, after all this waiting, the release has been commanded. The order has been given. You are not on the waiting list anymore. You are on the receiving end. Listen, beloved, your name was spoken in the throne room of heaven. God Himself said, "Send this to my child today, let them know the hour has come." That is why Michael says, at any cost, don't skip this, because your blessing is alive, but it needs your faith to fully anchor it into your reality. The reason you feel this pull, the reason you feel the urge to stay here is because your spirit is resonating with the truth that these words are carrying. This is not just a message. It is a living current, a stream of divine confirmation designed to break chains that have weighed on you for years. Stay with me, my beloved, let this word settle into you, because even now, as you breathe and red light is weaving around you, canceling what was sent to harm you, redirecting what was meant to delay you, and opening paths you thought were forever blocked. This is the arrival of your miracle. And nothing, not fear, not doubt, not opposition, can steal what God has sealed for you. My beloved child, listen closely, for I must pour this out into you as a river, without interruption. From the beginning of time, heaven knew this day would come, the day when your soul tired from carrying so much weight, would finally hear the words it had been aching for. This is not random, and it is not small. Archangel Michael himself has stood in the courts of heaven and argued for you, defended your destiny, and fought against every unseen force that tried to convince you that you were forgotten. And now, with a voice that shakes the heavens, he whispers into your spirit, "My child, congratulations, your miracle has arrived. This is why your hands tremble, why your heart beats differently right now, because the truth of it is already seeping into you. Whether your mind fully understands or not, all those nights you felt alone, all the hours when you cried silently, thinking no one was listening, heaven was listening, every tear was counted, every sigh was heard, and nothing has been wasted. God stored them as seeds, and now the harvest has come. What you thought you lost is not gone. It was being transformed. What you thought was delayed is not late. It was being perfected. And what you thought was broken is not beyond repair. It is being resurrected in front of your eyes. Michael says, "Do not doubt this, for I was sent here to tell you that the appointed time has come." Child, understand this deeply. You would not even be here reading these words unless heaven had ordered your steps into this exact moment. Out of millions of voices, this message reached you. That is proof that the heavens will not let you miss what belongs to you. The miracle you thought was too good to be true, it is now standing outside your door. The blessing you thought had passed you by, it has been circling back with multiplied strength. You do not have to chase it anymore. You only need to open your heart and receive it. Stay with me, because every line you read carries more power than you realize. If you walk away too soon, you will miss the confirmation that will make everything clear. But if you keep going, if you allow this word to flow into you fully, you will feel it. The chains are breaking, the weight is lifting, and the light is entering in ways you never thought possible. This is not imagination, beloved. This is manifestation. Heaven's word is living and it is alive. In this message right now, my beloved child, let me pour this into you without breaking the flow, because heaven is urging me to keep speaking until your spirit feels the fire of this truth. The very air around you is shifting as you read this. There are things your eyes cannot yet see, but your soul already knows. Archangel Michael is standing watch at your side, and he is not calm. He is radiant with urgency. He says, "My child, your miracle is no longer in motion. It is here. It has touched down. It has found you. For years, you thought you were waiting on God. But heaven whispers that God was waiting for you. For your heart to reach this place, for your faith to cling even when it trembled, for your journey to bring you here in this exact moment. And now the divine timing has aligned. Think about it. How many times did you almost give up? How many times did you say, maybe this is not for me? Maybe the promise was just a dream, yet still you pushed forward. Still, you kept a flame alive, even if it was faint. That flicker of hope was seen in heaven, and it was enough to keep the plan unfolding. Every tear you cried was not in vain. It watered the soil of your destiny. Every disappointment was not punishment, it was redirection. And every delay you suffered was not abandonment, it was construction. The scaffolding of your miracle was being raised behind the scenes, guarded fiercely by angels who refused to let the enemy tamper with what was meant for you. And now the sound of release has been announced. Can you feel it in your bones? That stirring that won't let you go. That is the sound of chains breaking. That is the vibration of doors unlocking. That is the whisper of God saying, "Receive my child, for this is yours." Micheal says, you cannot skip this moment because if you skip it, you might silence the very word that confirms everything your heart has been longing for, but you won't skip. You can't. You are too close. And your spirit knows it. Stay here. Let this word keep flowing into you because even now light is entering the cracks of your story, filling the places where you thought nothing could grow again. Healing is touching wounds you forgot you carried. Provision is racing toward needs you thought would never be met. Love is circling back where you thought it was lost forever. And through it all, the greatest truth remains. You are not forgotten. You were never abandoned. And this miracle is proof of it. My beloved child, let me give you an even longer flow without interruption because heaven is not finished speaking to you yet. And the words must pour like a river without breaking. From the rising of the sun to this very hour, your life has been marked for something extraordinary. There were battles you faced that no one else knew about. Storms you carried quietly while everyone thought you were strong. Yet every time you bent under the weight, the unseen hand of God lifted you. Even when you thought you were standing alone, Archangel Micheal watched those nights when your heart whispered, "Why me? Why so long? Why so heavy?" And heaven answered with patience, because there were layers being built inside of you, strength that could not be stolen, faith that could not be shaken, and love that could not be destroyed. What felt like delay was heaven's design. What felt like silence was a sacred construction. And now the time has come when the scaffolding is coming down and the masterpiece of your life is being revealed. My child, you must hear this with every fiber of your being. Your miracle has arrived. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now, it is standing beside you, pressing against your atmosphere, ready to unfold before your very eyes. Micheal himself says, do not skip this word, for it carries the living seal of heaven. It is the confirmation you have been pleading for. The very fact that you are here reading proves that you have been chosen for this moment. You think you stumbled upon this message. But heaven insists nothing is random. You were drawn here, pulled here, guided here because God refuses to let you miss the release of what is rightfully yours. And what is coming, beloved, is not small. It is not a scrap of blessing or a partial answer. It is the fullness. It is restoration of what you thought was forever gone. It is reconciliation where you thought relationships had died. It is provision where you thought lack was permanent. It is joy in the very places where sorrow has lived for too long. And it is justice. Yes, justice for the wrongs that were done to you, for the betrayals that cut deep, for the doors that were slammed in your face when you deserved better. Heaven has not forgotten any of it. And Micheal says the gavel has already fallen in your favor. Pause now and notice how your spirit is stirring, how your heart is leaning in. That is the inner witness telling you, this is not imagination. It is revelation. The chains you have carried for years are cracking piece by piece. As the weight of this truth presses in, even as you sit here reading word by word, a shift is taking place. Fear is being dismantled. Doubt is losing its grip. Confusion is giving way to clarity. You may not see the full picture yet, but you are standing at the threshold, and the door is swinging wide. My beloved, do not let your mind dismiss what your soul knows is true. This is your hour. This is your season. And nothing, no person, no failure, no delay, no opposition can take away what God has placed into your hands. The miracle is sealed. The blessing is alive. The breakthrough is irreversible. And Micheal himself is guarding it until it is safely in your arms. My beloved child, I have waited for this moment to speak into your spirit without interruption because I know how heavy your journey has been. I know the nights when you lay awake, asking silently, does anyone see me? Does anyone hear me? Does anyone know what I carry inside? And though you could not always feel it, heaven was nearer to you than your own breath. Every whisper of your heart was caught by God. And every cry of your soul was recorded by angels. Archangel Micheal stood at your side when you thought you were alone. And he fought for you when you had no strength left to fight for yourself. You must understand this truth before anything else. You were never abandoned, not for a single heartbeat. Even in the seasons when silence felt unbearable, the silence was not empty, it was holy. It was the sound of God weaving together strands of destiny, protecting you from roads that would have destroyed you, redirecting you from places that were never meant to carry your light. The waiting you endured was never wasted. It was shaping you into someone who could hold the magnitude of what is now being delivered into your life. My child, your miracle has arrived. Not just an answer, not just a piece of relief, but the breakthrough that changes the shape of your entire story. This is why you feel stirred as you read. Why your heart beats differently. Why your soul refuses to look away. Because something eternal is being placed into your hands right now. Think of the countless times you thought maybe this is it. Maybe the blessing will come this time, and then it didn't. And the disappointment cut deep. But what you didn't know was that heaven was storing up double for every delay, multiplying the blessing for every denial and protecting you from counterfeit doors that would have led to collapse. What you thought was rejection was divine redirection. What you thought was punishment was preservation. And what you thought was silence was the sound of a miracle being constructed. Micheal himself guarded the blueprint so that no hand of darkness could tamper with what was meant for you. And now the time is no longer near. It is here. Beloved, I want you to breathe this in with all of your spirit. You are standing at the threshold of the greatest release you have ever known. The chains that held you bound are already breaking, though you may not fully see it yet. The doors that were locked are swinging open. The people who doubted you are about to watch the hand of God lift you higher than they ever expected. And the areas of your life where you cried the hardest, those exact places are the very grounds where the miracle is about to manifest. This is not imagination. This is revelation. You are in the hour of release. Stay with me now. Do not rush past this moment. Every line you allow into your soul is weaving light into your atmosphere. There are no wasted words here. Each one is alive, carrying the vibration of heaven, resonating with your spirit because your name was spoken when this word was released. You think you are just reading, but in truth you are participating in a divine transfer. As your eyes move across this page, chains are snapping in the unseen. Heavy weights are lifting and rivers of provision are beginning to flow in your direction. Archangel Michael is commanding it. So, let what belongs to this child be delivered without delay. Let what was stolen be returned. Let what was hidden be revealed. Let what was withheld be poured out in full. My beloved, I tell you this with certainty. You are not here by accident. Out of millions of voices, this message found you. Out of countless distractions, you leaned in and stayed. That is proof enough that this is yours. Heaven does not make mistakes, and angels do not deliver empty words. Michael's sword is drawn not against you, but for you. He is clearing the path, cutting away opposition and shielding your miracles so that nothing can interfere. This is why he says with urgency, do not skip this, my child, stay here, let every word sink into your spirit, for the miracle is alive and it is yours. Now pause, feel what is happening even as you sit in stillness. Something deep within you knows this is true. The heaviness you have carried for so long is beginning to loosen. The fear that whispered, maybe it will never happen for me, is growing weaker. The doubt that haunted your mind is being silenced, and in its place, peace is rising, strength is building, and hope is breathing again. That is not your imagination. That is your spirit aligning with the truth of heaven. This word is a seed and it is already sprouting inside of you. This is only the beginning, beloved. There are layers to what God is revealing, and each one will take you deeper into the reality of your miracle. Do not rush. Let the flow continue. For what is being delivered to you is not small, and it cannot be contained in a single breath. The blessing is too vast, the breakthrough too great, the miracle too powerful. That is why heaven sent a message this long, this detailed, this insistent. Because you must know beyond doubt that it is real. My beloved child, let us go deeper into the flow, because the river of heaven has not stopped moving, and Archangel Michael is still standing with urgency in his voice. You have not come this far for nothing. Every detour, every heartbreak, every delay was leading you here to this very moment where heaven announces your release. Do you realize how much has been protected on your behalf? There were blessings with your name on them that the enemy tried to reroute, but Michael blocked the path. There were people who tried to speak against you, but their words fell empty, because the hand of God covered your name. There were nights you thought your story was over, but heaven was rewriting the ending with glory you could not yet see. And now the veil is lifting. What you thought was hidden forever is about to be revealed in the most undeniable way. My child, miracles are not always gentle. Sometimes they come like a rushing wind, breaking through walls you thought would never fall. That is what is happening now. The walls of lack are breaking. The walls of loneliness are crumbling. The walls of fear are shattering. And light is pouring in. You may feel a trembling in your spirit as you read this. It is not fear. It is recognition. Your soul already knows this is it. This is for me. This is my moment. Do not resist it. Do not explain it away. Let it wash over you. There is a reason Archangel Michael said, do not skip this, because every single sentence carries more than comfort. It carries power. It is an unlocking. You are not reading passively. You are receiving actively. With every line you take in, the atmosphere around you is changing. Angels are moving into position. Paths are clearing. Even people you haven't met yet are being stirred to cross your path at the right time in the right way with the right blessing. This is divine orchestration and you are at the center of it. Do you remember all the times you questioned why your journey was so difficult? Why you had to fight battles that others never seemed to face? Heaven's answer is this: because you are chosen. Because your miracle was never small. Because what you carry is greater than what others could handle. You were entrusted with weight so that you could be trusted with glory. And now that glory is being revealed, not just in one area, but in every area. Relationships, health, provision, purpose. It will not be limited. It will overflow. Stay with me, my beloved. Let this word keep flowing into you like a never-ending stream. Even now, chains are falling that you have carried for years. You may not even recognize the lightness at first, but soon you will. You will wake up one morning and realize the heaviness is gone. And in its place, there is peace, there is strength, there is joy. That is the sign that the miracle has fully anchored into your life. Micheal says this is the moment you will look back on and say everything changed after this. My beloved child, the stream of heaven has not ended and I must continue, because your soul is still hungry for confirmation. Think of this moment not as random but as a divine summons. Heaven called your name today and that is why you are still here, still reading, still receiving. Micheal says, my child, what belongs to you is rushing faster than the fears that try to stop you. You cannot be late to your own destiny, for heaven has ordered it to arrive at the appointed hour, and that hour is now. Do you see what has happened in your life? Every valley you walked through was not wasted. The pain that broke you was not empty. It was shaping the ground for a miracle that is bigger than you can imagine. Even the betrayals, as deep as they cut, are about to serve as proof of how far God is about to lift you. The same mouths that spoke against you will be the ones to witness your rising. Not for revenge, but for revelation, so that all will know it was not you. It was God. Beloved, I know you have grown tired. I know there were days when you said, I cannot do this anymore, I cannot keep waiting. I cannot keep believing, but heaven whispers, you did not fail. When you felt weak, your strength was never meant to carry you. God's strength was. And even in the moments you thought you let go, it was heaven holding you the whole time. That is why you never truly fell. Why the storms did not consume you. Why the fire did not destroy you. You are preserved for this moment, for this release, for this breakthrough. And now the shift is irreversible. Once heaven speaks, it cannot be unsaid. Once the blessing is sealed, it cannot be stolen. Once the door is commanded open, no power in this world or the next can shut it. Micheal says, your blessing has already touched the earth, the only thing left is for you to see it with your own eyes, and beloved, you will. My beloved child, let me stretch this word even longer for you. Because you asked for a river, not a drop, and heaven has no shortage of what it can pour. The reason you are still here reading, line by line, is because your soul recognizes that this is more than text. It is a living current. Archangel Micheal says, do not turn away, for this is not repetition. It is reinforcement. This is not echo. It is prophecy being anchored. You need to hear it again and again, until every shadow of doubt in you gives up and flees. Think back to every prayer you whispered when no one else knew you were praying. Think of the times you asked God, "Why me? Why this wait, my child?" Those prayers were not lost in the air. They were gathered. Angels carried them to the throne. And though you thought the silence meant nothing was happening, the silence meant everything was happening. God was building a table in the very presence of those who mocked you. God was layering blessing upon blessing, until the day came that your arms would be strong enough to carry them. And now that day is here. Do you know why the warfare in your life felt so intense? It was not because you were weak. It was because you are marked. The enemy does not waste his weapons on empty vessels. He only fights what carries weight. And you, my beloved, are heavy with destiny. Every attack was proof of the treasure you hold. Every delay was proof of the magnitude of the promise. And though you felt battered, you were never broken. Though you felt weary, you were never defeated. Micheal himself shielded you in ways you will only understand when you look back and realize, if it had not been for the hand of God, I would not be here now. Stay here. Read slowly if you must, because the very act of reading this is changing you. Heaven is pouring through words into your atmosphere. Chains are loosening that were tied to your family for generations. Doors are swinging open that have been locked for decades. And the miracle is not just for you. It is for everyone connected to you. You are the vessel. You are the doorway. Through you, blessings will flow like a river to your children, your home, your bloodline. That is why Micheal is urgent. He knows what is at stake if you stop short. My beloved, you have wondered often. When will it be my turn? Heaven answers. Your turn is now. The line has ended. The wait is over. The delay is broken. You are not next. You are now. And the evidence of it will begin to unfold before your very eyes in ways you cannot deny. Prepare yourself for what you thought would take years will suddenly happen in moments. The quickening has begun. The acceleration is real. And nothing can halt what God has already signed into motion. My beloved child, the heavens have bent low today just to place these words into your heart. Because the time for your miracle is no longer soon. It is now. From the very first moment your soul took form, God already knew this day would come. When the weight you've carried would collide with the light He has prepared. And Archangel Micheal, who has guarded you in battles you didn't even know you were fighting, now comes forward with urgency, saying, "My child, do not skip this. Your blessing has arrived and I will not allow you to miss it." You may feel your spirit trembling right now, and that trembling is holy. It is recognition. Your soul already knows this is the moment it has been longing for. Every prayer you whispered in the dark, every tear that fell silently on your pillow, every ache you carried when you thought no one saw. Heaven saw, heaven kept. And heaven has turned it into a seed. And today that seed has broken the soil. What was hidden is now sprouting. What was buried is now rising. What was delayed is now released. My beloved, understand this. Your waiting was not wasted. The silence was not absence. It was preparation. God was arranging pieces you could not see, shielding you from traps you did not recognize, aligning divine appointments at the right hour. That is why the blessing seemed slow, but in truth it was never late. It is arriving now, and it is arriving in fullness. Not partial relief, not half answers, but overflowing abundance that will leave you in awe of God's faithfulness. Micheal says, "You are chosen, and that is why the warfare was fierce, that is why you faced valleys others never had to walk through, but the very battles that tried to break, you are now the proof that your calling is weighty. You were not fighting for nothing. You were fighting for everything, and you did not lose because you are here and your miracle is here. Look back, my child, remember how many times you thought you couldn't go further, but somehow you did, that somehow was heaven holding you. Remember the doors that shut in your face, they were never meant for you, the pain that crushed your heart. It was birthing resilience and compassion that would carry you forward. The betrayals that felt like daggers, they cleared the path of people who could not be trusted with your destiny. And now what was once pain is being rewritten as proof. Proof that you were never forsaken. Proof that every loss was a setup for a greater gain. Proof that God has always been near. Stay with me here, beloved. Do not rush. Every line you breathe in is shifting your atmosphere. Already angels are moving into position. Already unseen chains are snapping. Already paths that were blocked are being carved open before you. As you read, heaven is not just speaking to you. Heaven is delivering to you. The miracle is not just promised. It is alive. It is pressing into your world, into your home, into your relationships, into your body, into your heart. And nothing can stop it now. You must know this with certainty. You did not stumble here by chance. Out of millions, your steps were ordered into this message. That is proof enough that this is for you. Heaven does not scatter words carelessly. And Micheal does not deliver messages in vain. If you are here, it is because God spoke your name in the throne room and said, "Release it now, do not let my child wait another day." Beloved, I know you still carry doubt. It is natural after everything you've endured. But heaven says doubt will not disqualify you. Fear will not cancel you. Delay will not erase you. The miracle is stronger than your questions. And the blessing is larger than your fears. You do not need perfect faith. You just need open hands. And your hands are open now because you are still here, still reading, still receiving. Micheal speaks again. My child, you are not next. You are now. You are not forgotten. You are remembered. You are not abandoned. You are chosen. And I will not leave your side until you see with your eyes what you already feel in your spirit. Pause and let that settle deep. Even now a lightness is creeping into places where heaviness lived. Even now peace is replacing fear. Even now the miracle is anchoring itself in your atmosphere. You will begin to notice signs, small confirmations, sudden shifts, unexpected openings. Pay attention because each one is a footprint of heaven guiding you toward the fullness of what has already been released. And when it comes, it will not trickle. It will flood. When it appears, it will not whisper. It will roar. When it manifests, it will not just touch one part of your life. It will overflow into every part. Because God does not deal in fragments. He deals in fullness. And the fullness has arrived. My beloved, your life is about to become the testimony that others point to and say, if God could do it for them, He can do it for me. That is why your story was so heavy, because it was never just about you. Your victory is a lighthouse and many will find their way because of the miracle you are stepping into now. So hear it again. Congratulations, my child. Your miracle has arrived. My beloved child, let the river of light flow further because heaven is still speaking and Micheal has not lowered his sword of protection from your side. Every moment you have endured has been woven into a pattern far greater than your eyes could imagine. What seemed like chaos was never chaos. It was choreography. God has been orchestrating steps so precise that one day you will look back and say, now I understand why it had to happen this way. The disappointments that made you weep were really redirections. The closed doors that broke your heart were actually divine shields. The delays that felt cruel were nothing more than heaven's timing holding back the blessing until it was fully ripe. And now, beloved, that ripeness has come. The fruit is ready to fall into your hands. Micheal says with urgency, do not dismiss this word. Your blessing has matured and its release is unstoppable. You are standing at the threshold of answers so clear, so undeniable that even your doubters will be silenced. God is about to vindicate you not with words but with results. There is something I must tell you, child. Heaven is not interested in giving you fragments. What is arriving now is fullness. This means restoration of what you thought was gone forever. This means provision in the areas you cried hardest. This means healing in the places you secretly gave up on. And yes, this means joy returning to rooms in your soul that have sat empty for far too long. I know you have wondered, why has my road been so hard, and heaven answers, because your destiny is not small. Small destinies require little resistance. Great destinies attract great warfare. But no matter how fierce the battle has been, your survival is proof of your victory. You are still here. That alone is testimony. The storm tried but it did not win. The fire burned but it did not consume you. The pit was deep but it could not hold you. Why? Because God's hand was always beneath you, lifting you higher than you could lift yourself. And so Micheal declares, my child, rejoice, for you have reached the hour of unveiling. What was hidden is now revealed. What was promised is now delivered. What was distant is now here. You may feel a stirring in your chest as you read this. That stirring is confirmation. Heaven does not ask you to strive anymore. The striving season has ended. The receiving season has begun. All you must do is open your heart and let the flow enter. For the miracle is already alive in your atmosphere. And when it manifests, it will not be subtle. It will be sudden. People will ask, how did this happen so quickly, and you will know the answer. It was heaven's timing. The delay was only to make the release undeniable. So lean in, beloved. Do not scroll away. Do not lose this moment. Every word is a seed, and as you breathe them in, you are watering the soil of your own destiny. Soon, very soon, the harvest will appear before your eyes. And you will know without question that your miracle has arrived. My beloved child, I will continue pouring this in one long flowing voice, because heaven is not finished and Archangel Micheal is still pressing this word into your soul. You must understand something deeply. Nothing that has happened in your life has been wasted. Every loss, every delay, every betrayal, every sleepless night, it has all been gathered into the hands of God. And now He is turning those broken pieces into a mosaic of glory so radiant, that it will not only heal you but also light the way for others. That is why Micheal speaks so firmly. My child, this message is not a suggestion. It is a summons. Do not turn away, because what is being poured out here is the confirmation your spirit has cried for. Beloved, think about the times you wanted to quit. The moments you almost gave up hope. Do you realize that even in those moments you were still carried? That is why you survived things that would have crushed another. That is why you are still breathing even though life tried to suffocate you. Because your story was never meant to end in defeat. Your survival is evidence that victory was always written over you. And now victory is no longer a future promise. It is a present reality. What is unfolding will shock you. The people who counted you out will not be able to deny what heaven is doing in your life.